Hello everyone, this is part 7 of What If Naruto was in Sword Art Online, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
9 months later. GGO. There were lots of panels floating everywhere, in the bar, outside the streets and in some other place. All the people currently watching intently on the screen to observe the interview. On the screen is a long blue hair man with sunglasses and wearing a white outfit. Lots of people think that AGI is the ultimate stat, but that's rubbish. But that's not to say it isn't important. The combination of quick firing and evasion is more than enough for a strong build. That's how it always been. Until now, that is. To the speed freaks who've spent 8 months raising their AGI. I only have 2 words to you, my condolences, said the blue-haired man and waving his finger. The crowd in different bars and cafes hearing that began to boo him loudly. Not surprisingly, the top player of Gun Gale Online, which is said to be the hardest VR MMO of all time, has quite a unique spin on things, said the blonde MC wearing orange clothes. Well, being invited to MMO stream must be a once-of-a-lifetime event, said the blue-haired man. There you go again. Will you plan to win the bob this time too? Asked the MC. Of course, if I entered I will be aiming for the top, said the blue-haired man with confidence and flicks his hair. Back to the crowd, they began to boo him again. But you know, Zexeed-san. Bob is a game based on solo encounters, is it not? There is no guarantee that the same outcome will happen every time, so I don't know about your talking about status type was the deciding factor, said the man that was sitting in the middle of Zexeed and the MC. He has black with a red mop in the center. He also wears black clothes and wearing a pair of small glasses. No, but the results really do reveal the weakness of the current metagame in GGO. Though you are the AGI type, so I do understand you feeling the need to refute the idea, Yamikaze-san, said Zexeed and smirking at Yamikaze. Yamikaze just grunts silently at what he said. Then Zexeed stood up and raised both his hand up and began to talk. I'll agree the in-season AGI and rapid firing with a powerful automatic was the optimal playstyle up until now. But it's natural for the MMO's metagame to keep evolving. And in games with a level-up system, stats won't be able to reallocate it if you made a mistake, which making it crucial to always think ahead allocating points. There is no guarantee that the strongest playstyle at one level will be best for the other. New guns that'll be added from now will have higher strength and higher accuracy requirements. There was one figure in a black cloak that was sitting silently the whole speech. Suddenly, he decided to stand up from his place and began to slowly approach the panel with Zexeed face on it. Everybody in the bar began to look at the figure curiously. He took his gun out under his cloak and aimed at Zexeed face on the panel. Zexeed, you false victor. It's time for you to be judged by the true power, said the cloak figure aiming his gun at Zexeed. Some people hearing that began to laugh thinking it was some kind of joke. The cloak figure pressed on the trigger and shot at Zexeed's face on the panel. At first nothing happened, and Zexeed is smirking arrogantly, then suddenly he widened his eyes, gasped and his character disappeared from the screen. The people in that bar was so shocked and scared of the cloak person, after what they just witnessed. This is the true power, true strength. All you fools learn to fear this name and burn it into your memories. The name of this gun and mine share is Death Gun, said the figure and raised his gun high. The face was showed due to this action. He has skeleton metal mask with red glowing eyes. Also some stream has come out of his mask when he said his name. Tokyo. During the past 9 months, some things happened. Naruto Yuki Uzumaki has become so famous because of his system that allowed to transferred skills from one game to another. He was invited to MMO stream many times in order to get the interview. But Naruto knew that if he go there things will become even more troublesome, so he decided not to go. Another thing happened, that was Rika's motherly instinct decided to show itself. Looking at Asuna and Yui's interaction so many times caused her motherly instinct to wake up. So Rika demanded Naruto to create her daughter as cute as Yui. Naruto, being the obedient husband he is, asked Kazuto in helping to create a new AI. It took them a decent amount of time, but they succeed. The full name of new AI was Wendy MHCP002. It was a girl with the long dark blue hair that reached her waist with chestnut brown eyes. She wore a simple dress with 2 wavy stripes running across the dress and ending in small pointed edges at the bottom. That's right, Mina-san. It's Wendy Marvell from Fairy Tail. Wendy has a very shy personality and often stuttering, as she was not used to the people around her just yet. When Rika first saw her new daughter, she practically can't get her eyes out of Wendy, because of the cuteness she displayed. Leafa also found Wendy very cute and also spend more times with her. Slowly but Wendy began to get used to her new family and accepted them with open arms. Now Naruto and Rika walking on the street holding hands. Naruto has changes his appearance a little. His hairstyle now is that of Cloud Strife from FFVII. Also to prevent the crowd from recognizing him, when he goes outside he always wears a pair of sunglasses. Rika is still remain the same, maybe grown taller a bit. Right now they are heading to restaurant, as today is the anniversary of nearly 1 year since Sao. Restaurant. Naruto and Rika went to the table that they had ordered. Rika sat on the table then touched Naruto's hand softly gaining his attention. Did you remember the first time we meet each other, Naruto-kun? Asked Rika smiling at him. How could I forget that day? It was really hilarious, I just walked in and broke your best sword. Then that bet happened, said Naruto smiling at nostalgia. I wonder if Kirito won't told you to meet at my shop. Will we ever meet each other? Asked Rika, her eyes glaze a little. I don't know. But I am glad that it happened, you know that day changed my whole life in Sao. Before that I only focused on mastering my sword style and destroyed all PK players, said Naruto smiling softly at her. So many things has happened since then, but I am glad that everything is okay now. We have such a cute daughter now. Oh, I think I should reward you for that, said Rika and make her come closer, move with her finger. Naruto leaned in, Rika held onto his cheeks and kissed him passionately. Naruto answered her action by kissing her back as well. After a while, she broke up and there was line of saliva between their lips. Naruto's eyes were glazed from such a passionate kiss. Rika just smirks victoriously. Naruto shook his head to clear his head and said, you know I decided from a player to become a creator. Really? A new MMO? I am sure it will be awesome, said Rika smiling. Yeah, I decide to create a new MMO. It will be a combination of Sao and Aloe though use different kind of energy to perform skills, said Naruto crossing his hands before his face. Whoa, it sounds great. What else will be there? Asked Rika amazed at the idea. Well actually the game will be called Shinobi World Online. The players from the beginning will choose to which village they want to be in. There will be 5 major villages, Konohagakure, Kirigahakure, Kumogakure, Owagakure and Sunagahakure. The leader of each village hold the title of Kage. The level up system will be present as well. As for the energy to perform skills, it's called chakra. You won't be able to fly like in Aloe, but you will be able to jump up high and running on the trees or mountains. That's all for now, I guess, explained Naruto some details that will be present in his new project. Sounds very promising. I hope it will outdo all the other MMO, said Rika. Well, I don't know about outdoing other MMO. I just want to try to create my own game, that's all, said Naruto closing his eyes. Then Naruto recalled the meeting with Kikuoka Seijiro the day before. Flashback. 1 day earlier, Naruto received the call from Kikuoka and said that he has some important things that need to discuss with Naruto. Naruto entered the restaurant and saw Kikuoka was waving at him. Naruto approached him and sat on the chair opposite of Kikuoka. Good evening, Kikuoka-san. What would like to discuss with me? Asked Naruto straight to the business. Yeah, I didn't know that you were such a straightforward person, Naruto-kun. Order anything you like, I will pay for it, said Kikuoka smiling. Okay, then, said Naruto. He opened the menu and ordered some dessert. The waiter approached them and took the order then leave. So what is the important business you were talking about? Asked Naruto. Kikuoka took out his tablet and showed the picture of the middle-aged man. Last month, on November 14th, the landlord of Nakano, Tokyo apartment building shelled something while cleaning. She got worried and opened the electric lock on the door, and discovered the body of this man, Shigemuto Tamatsu, age 26. He's been dead for 5.5 days. His room was messy but hadn't been ransacked. The body was on the bed. And on his head, said Kikuoka. Atmosphere. Naruto finished the sentence with narrowed eyes. Kikuoka nodded his head and continued. Given the possibility of foul play, an autopsy was held. The cause of death, heart attack. Assured that his brain wasn't fried? Asked Naruto. No, we checked and there was no brain damage in his brain. Before the death, he was the famous player of Gun Gale Online by the name Zexceed. Gun Gale Online. The only game that you can transfer the money from the game into real life. I heard only pros play that game, said Naruto surprise. That's right. He was the winner of the Bob in October. Not long after that he was invited to MMO stream. There was something strange happened back there. There was some player in black cloak walked to the screen, said something about judgment and power, then shot at the panel. At first nothing happened, but after a minute Zexceed held on his heart with wide eyes and gasping mouth, then his avatar disappeared from the screen. Kikuoka was silent for a minute. Naruto looked at him with narrowed eyes and asked, I presume there was something more you want to said. Yeah. Near Shigemuta corpse was a note. 1 amph 81 nanograms 4 U, H. B. 1 amph 81 nanograms 4 U, H. B. What could it be? Asked Naruto, raising his brow. We are trying to decipher the message as well. But the trick is that what happened to Zexceed happened to Shigemuta at the same time. Can you believe that you could kill a person through a game IRL? Asked Kikuoka, looking at Naruto curiously. Absolutely not. Certainly it was just a coincidence. Nothing like that can ever happen, said Naruto with certainty. No, it's not, Naruto-kun. There was 2 cases more that was exactly the same. The player was also the skilled GGO player by the name of Usugio Tarako. He was playing the game at that time. He was meeting with his squadron and was shot by another player. The same guy that shot Zexceed. Naruto deduced. Probably. He says the same thing about power and judgment and used the same character name. What is it? Death gun. But because of the third victim I managed to decipher the message, said Kikuoka, sipping his tea. What is so special about this victim? The special thing about this victim is not his real name, but rather his avatar. His avatar's name was Maelstrom Batasai. Naruto, hearing that, widened his eyes and began to think for a while. So that's it. The message was addressed to me. I am waiting for you, Hitokiri Batasai. It's clearly an invitation for me to GGO. So you have deduced that as well, huh? I expect nothingness from you, Naruto-kun. What are you planning to do now? Asked Kikuoka. So my battle is still not over yet. It's clearly that the death gun was one of survivor of Sao and he want revenge. I am suspecting that he was one of the 3 survivors of that guild. Though I can't confirm just yet. You planned this from the start, didn't you, Kikuoka-san? To use me to investigate the cases by getting shot by death gun, said Naruto, looking at Kikuoka with a calm expression. Now Naruto-kun, don't say I am using you. I just wanted you to log in to confirm if the fact, that's all. Also, I heard you starting your new project. I will help you financially if you help me with this case. My boss is very worried about this, said Kikuoka, smiling. Don't worry, I will log in. I need correct my past mistake after all. But first I will need some time to say goodbye to my friends, said Naruto. Oh, you can use as much time as you need to say goodbye to your friends. Just come to the hospital when you are ready to log in, said Kikuoka. Naruto nodded his head. He finished his desert and stood up to leave. End flashback. Naruto is spacing out, so Rika decide to shake him. Naruto-kun. Naruto-kun. Why is so spacing out? Did something happened? Asked Rika worriedly. No, nothing happened. Let's head back to Kazuto's house, after we eat. We decided to gather there after all, said Naruto, smiling. Rika just looked at him for a while, then shrugged her head. When the food has come, they finished it quickly and head back to Kiragaya's household. GGO. At some ruins, the party consists of 7 people are heading to a certain location. Far from them was a girl in aqua blue hair with aqua eyes watching the group through the monocular, her sniper gun. I am in position, said a voice through the radio in the girl's ear. Roger that. The enemies made no change in course or speed. Distance from you is 400. From here it's 1500, said the girl through the radio. That's pretty damn far. Can you do it? Asked the voice through the radio. It's no problem. Alright, commencing sniping. I am counting on you, Sinon. Roger, said Sinon, and prepared to snipe the target. This pressure, this anxiety, this fear, I don't care for any of it. It's as simple as throwing a paper ball into a waste basket. Yes, Compare to that time, thought Sinon with a calm face and aiming her gun at the guy with mohawk hairstyle. Then she pressed the trigger and shot at the target, eliminating him in one shot. Next, said Sinon, aiming at the other target. GGO. Wasteland Field. Sinon has just shot down the one with mohawk hair. After that she decided to target the big one with a cloak. She shot one spinning shot, but the one in the cloak knew where she aimed and avoided easily. Sinon, seeing that she missed, decided to search for her new position. As judged from the bullet line, the one in cloak has already found her hiding place. But when she looked around, she realized that she couldn't change the location now. I won't be able to change position. Objective 1, clear. Objective 2, fail, reported Sinon through the radio to Dine. Roger. Stand by there. Go, 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 said Dine through the radio and ordered the rest of his squad. Sinon decided to watch the situation from her monocular in Hecate. She scanned the rest of her squad, then turned her attention to the big one in the cloak. At that time, the one in cloak decided to reveal himself and took off his cloak and showed a minigun hide under the cloak. Sinon, seeing that, widened her eyes in shock. Then the realization came to her. They weren't late because of their hunt ran long. It was the movement penalty due to minigun's weight. The big guy began to prepare to open fire, waiting for the rest of Dine's squad to appear to finish him off. The two from Dine's squad, seeing that the enemy had only the weapons only for hunting monsters, decide to engage them. They managed to shoot the two enemy down easily. Suddenly, multiple shots came behind him with great speed. The guy couldn't avoid the shots in time as they were too many. He was shot down in instant and shattered to blue polygon. Dine and his squad looking at what happened in shock. In a certain distance, the big guy had just finished shooting from minigun and has a satisfied smirk on his face. Sinon's place. Sinon, seeing the smirk from the monocular of Hecate, decide to leave her hiding place. As she is running, she begin to think. That smile. Does that mean he's strong enough to smile on the battlefield? That guy. I am gonna kill him. To the battlefield. Dine and his squad was trying their hardest to defeat at least the hunting squad. Suddenly, he saw the bulletin line and ordered all his squad to lie down just in time to avoid the terrifying shots from the minigun. Damn it. Don't let him get close to us, cursed Dine and ordered his men. Understood. Meanwhile, the big guy was hiding behind the rock wall and recharging his minigun. Dine looked behind him, sweet-dropped nervously, and thought, there are no place to hide. Damn it. Then he looked closely and saw Sinon was running to his direction hurriedly. He was surprised seeing her sudden appearance on the front line. Sinon. Sinon continued running and dodging the bullets with the help of predicting the bullet lines. Suddenly, there were multiple shots firing straight at her body. Sinon has no choice but to jump to the air to avoid the shots. After escaping the shots, she decided to regroup with Dine's squad. Are you okay, Sinon? Sinon just nodded her head. We are in trouble. They hired a bodyguard. The guy with the minigun. He is the macho guy named Behemoth, said Dine with despair. If we keep hiding, they will wipe us all out. He should be running low on minigun ammo now. If we all attack at once, he may hesitate to go all out, said Sinon. Then she turned to the two of the squad. Jin and Miso will approach from the left. Dine and I will go around from the right. Storm, you stay here, back us up, ordered Sinon to the rest of the squad. It's impossible. There are still 3 guys with blasters out there. If we head in, our defensive fields won't, said Dine hesitantly. Blasters can't fire as fast as physical weapons. We can dodge half of them, argued Sinon. It's impossible. If we run in, the minigun will rip us apart. It's too bad, but let's give up this time. I'd rather logged out than give them victory, retorted Dine and proposed. Logging out doesn't mean that you'll escape, said Sinon. What? This is just a game. Don't take it too seriously. If we run in, we'll all die, said Dine. You are pathetic, shouted Sinon. Then she held on Dine's collar and said, if this is just a game, then be brave enough to run toward the guns and die. Sinon turned to the rest of the squad. 3 seconds. Keep the minigun occupied for 3 seconds and I'll take him down. All right. Then we will commence operation now, said Sinon. Sinon showed her finger and count to 3. Then Jin and Miso began to open fire. Sinon and Dine began to quickly to move to the right side of Behemoth. The 2 guys with blasters decided to cover Behemoth and open fire at Sinon and Dine. Sinon took out her pistol and began to shoot at the enemy. Then she turned to Dine and said, Dine, back me up. After she said that, she jumped forward, then lied down and aimed her Hecate at Behemoth. Behemoth felt her presence and turned backwards. He only managed to dodge the shot so that it didn't took off his head, though Sinon managed to destroy his glasses. He was very surprised at that. Then he smirked and opened fire his minigun. Sinon saw the bullet line and decided to move to other place to hide. Dine was struggling against Blaster's guys. He looked at Sinon sweet dropping nervously. Then he decided to charge forward at the enemy. The Blasters continued to shoot at Dine, but he ignored all the shots and continued to run forward. Damn it all. Then he took out a grenade and threw at the two Blasters. He was killed, but the grenade also detonated the same, taking the Blasters with him as well. Sinon, seeing that, thought, nice guts, Dine. I need to somehow move to Behemoth's blind spot. Then she looked up at the high tower not far from her and thought, he won't be able to pinpoint my location just yet. With that thought, Sinon began to run up the stairs to head to the top of the tower. That guy is strong enough to smile on the battlefield. I'll kill him and then I also. Sinon arrived at the desired location and aimed her Hecate at Behemoth. Behemoth just smirked and prepared to fire his minigun. Sinon saw the bullet line and realized she couldn't stood on one place. So she decided to jump down from the tower and shot Behemoth at the same time. Behemoth, seeing her, jumped open fire. Behemoth managed to take off one of Sinon's leg. He thought she already died and began to laugh loudly. Then he widened his eyes, seeing Sinon still alive. He opened fire again. Sinon opened her eyes widely and concentrate on dodging the rest of the shots by spinning and do some salto in midair. Behemoth tried his hardest to shoot down Sinon, but it was no use. When she was at a mere distance from him, she aimed her Hecate at his head and smirked coldly. This is the end. With that, she shot at his forehead and blew Behemoth to pieces. She kneeled on the ground when she landed. Behind her, the Behemoth avatar began to disperse. IRL. Asada Shino's room. Asada Shino opened her eyes slowly. She took out the Amusphere from her head, then raised her hand up and muttered. Stronger. I have to become stronger. Aloe. Forest. Lisbeth, Silica and Leafa are surrounding the plant monster and tries to take it down. Silica slashed her sword horizontally and managed to injure the monster, though the monster managed to grab her leg and dragging her to it. Silica-chan, said Leafa. Silica activated her wings and managed to escape a little, though the monster strengthened the hold and hold her upside down now. Leafa-chan. Leafa, seeing that, rushed forward and slashed the monster's tentacle. Then she looked up the air and said, Liz-san, it's your turn. From the sky, Liz flew down at great speed with a mace in her hand. Chest. With that said, she strikes a powerful strike at the monster. The monster dispersed in blue polygon. Yay. We cleared this floor, said Leafa enthusiastically. By the way, why didn't Naruto-san log in today? Asked Silica curiously. He said something about not feeling very well right now, said Leafa with a sad look. Don't worry, Ka-chan. I am sure Tu-chan will come back very soon, said Wendy in her pixie form. I hope so, Wendy-chan, said Leafa. Lisbeth just looked up in the sky deep in thought. What is happening with you, Naruto-kun? I know you are healthy, so what is your reason? On the tree not far from the trio. Kirito just lying in the grass enjoying the wind blowing through his hair. Asuna also looked down deep in thought. Kirito opened his eyes and seeing her expression and decided to ask her. What's with the long face? Something happened. Asuna looked at Kirito for a while, then decided to answer. It's Naruto. After the day he met with Kikuoka-san, he began to act strangely. Also, there is also a scary expression on his face. I tried to ask him what is wrong, but he just looked at me with cold eyes and walked away. What's happening to him, Kirito-kun? I am scared. Kirito just narrowed his eyes in thought. What is happening to you after that meeting, Naruto? Why do you suddenly revert to the Hitokiri Batasai persona? Yuki's household. Naruto's room. Naruto has woke up for like the 4th time already. He couldn't sleep as when he closed his eyes all the players that he killed will hunted him again, in addition to that the face of Zexide, Tarako and Maelstrom. They all said one sentence with a bloody face and creepy smile. It's time to face judgment, Hitokiri Batasai. Because of you we all died. You are no hero. You are a monster, demon, heartless killer. You are no better than us. Naruto stood up from his bed and slowly walked to the window. He looked at the moon with solemn eyes. That's right, because of my softness those 3 person is dead now. After the marriage with Lisbeth, I became too soft to the point of sparing members of Laughing Coffin. I should have killed then all that day. That mistake has cost 3 lives of innocent players now. Tomorrow, I will say goodbye and finish what I should have done a year ago, said Naruto. Then his eyes began to gleam dangerously at the light of the moon. Those eyes were the eyes of a ruthless killer, that showed no mercy to his opponent. Those are the eyes of Hitokiri Batasai, that has been asleep in Naruto for 1 year. Asada Shino has just walked out from the school ground. She stopped for a second to inhale the fresh and then proceed to move to the market. At the market, she picked up a tomato to inspect it. Suddenly, there is a voice behind her called out from behind. Asada. Asada Shino. Shino turned back to see who is calling her. That was the 2 classmates that has often bullied her by demanding money. The 2 bullies decided to Shino to their boss. In some narrow alley, the leader of the 2 bullies is sitting on the top of the trash can and smoking. Shino was shoved forward by the 2 behind her. Sorry, Asada. We spend so much time at karaoke, we ran out of money for the train. I'll pay you back tomorrow, so give us this much, said the leader and showed on her hand how many did she need. 10 yen. I don't have that much, said Shino with her glasses hiding her eyes. Then go and withdraw it, said the leader. No, answered Shino. What did you say? Asked the leader once more. No, I won't lend you any money anymore, Endu-san, repeated Shino. Just that Shino turned her back to Endu and prepared to leave the alley. Don't screw with me, girl, said Endu narrowing her eyes. I am leaving, so move, said Shino to the 2 in front of her. Endu just smirked and approaching Shino slowly. Then she pointed her finger out, like she was shooting. Shino's eyes widened at the action and she began to tremble. Then a voice came from behind them, snapped her out. You 3, leave that girl alone. I am in a very bad mood now, so get out of here before I get mad, said the voice behind them. They all turned behind and saw a teenage boy in a black vest with high collar. He has spiky blonde hair, though you couldn't see his eyes as they were hid under a pair of sunglasses. Who the heck are you to order us to do something? Shouted Endu in rage. I told you already. I am in a very bad mood now. Get out or pay the consequence, said the boy coldly and began to approach them slowly. Endu and the 2 felt shivers down their spine at the tone and decided to do as they were told. It's not over yet, Asada, said Endu and ran away with the other 2. Seeing that they had left, Naruto decided to approach Shino to check her condition. Are you okay now? Asked Naruto kneeling beside Shino. Shino slowly looked up at her savior and said, Yes, I am fine now. Thank you. Oh, I am Uzumaki Yuki Naruto. Nice to meet you, said Naruto and took off his glasses, exposing his sky blue eyes. Shino widened her eyes at seeing the celebrity in front of her. The same Naruto, that was proclaimed, hero of Sao. Asked Shino. Well, I am not comfortable with that title, but yes. Let's head to some place and have a drink. Also, if it's not a problem to you, I would like to know, what was that back then? Asked Naruto. Shino just nodded her head and began to walk ahead. I am actually have a bike. Let's go there, said Naruto. They went to the parking place of Naruto's bike and take off to the cafe. Naruto bought himself a bike for one reason, to run away from fangirls. His bike is the Fenrir bike of Cloud Strife. At the cafe, Naruto and Shino sat on the opposite of each other and waiting for the waiter to arrive. Well, I have introduced myself already. But I don't know your name. Asked Naruto looking at Shino. My name is Asada Shino, Uzumaki-san, answered Shino. So what was that back there? Asked Naruto. It happened every week. They just took advantage of my fear and used it, said Shino. And you just let them bully you continuously like that? Asked Naruto narrowing his eyes. Shino just stayed silent. Shino then remembered that this boy in front of her also killed the people in Sao. So why did he remain so calm now? She wanted to know how did he do that? Uzumaki-san. Naruto is fine. I hate formalities, said Naruto closing his eyes. Then Naruto-san, you've killed the people in Sao, right? Naruto just nodded his head. Then how can you act so calm? Did it affect you anymore? Not really. I just moved on with life. But why do you suddenly ask me that question, Asada-san? Asked Naruto narrowing his eyes. Shino thought for a while then decided to answer. In this whole world maybe only you will be able to understand what I am feeling, Naruto-san. It all started when I was little. One peaceful day, me and my mom were going to the bank to put in reserve. Then there was one man walked in slowly. I looked at his face and noticed he was crying. Suddenly, he shoved my mother away, then opened his bag to take out the pistol and demand the employees to put all their money in the bag. His face was in panic the whole time, which means that was his first to actually rob the bank. When he received money, he shot down the person that has gave money to him. Because the employee was trying to turn on the alarm to alert the people. He turned to the other employee and demanded her to fill the bags or else he will shot another person. He pointed his gun to my mother, so I couldn't sat there and do nothing. I immediately rushed to him and bit his hand and forced the pistol to fall out of his hand. Then to protect myself I decided to pick out the gun. The robber seeing that immediately jumped on me and tried to take off the gun from my hand. Then I. Sinon shared her story with Naruto, but in the end she couldn't finish the sentence. You don't need to continue anymore. I've already deduced what happened next, said Naruto solemnly. I wanted to move on like you, Naruto-san. How did you do it? Please, I can't take this anymore, said Sinon with tears running down her eyes. Naruto stood up and approached her, then hugged her to comfort her. I understand what you felt. Like you, I also was haunted by the nightmares. But the difference between you and me was that you shot the robber on accident. I, on the hand, did it with my own free will. I killed my heart to do what was necessary back then. I don't know what to advise you to make you move on. But I think that you need to find someone very precious to you. The important person to you that will make you overcome all the fears, said Naruto, still hugging Sinon. Precious person? Asked Sinon. That's right. I am only sane now because I have friends that always believe and support me. I believe that the person can become truly strong when protecting the precious ones to him or her. You need to find that person to overcome your fear, Asada-san. You need the person that will mean so much to you, that just by the thought of that person getting hurt, you will be able to unleash all your power that lies deep inside you, said Naruto, smiling at her. Thank you, Naruto-san. I didn't make a mistake by sharing my story with you. I feel so much better now, said Sinon, smiling. It's nothing. If you want, we can become friends. I am sure that will be wonderful, said Naruto, smiling softly at Sinon. Sinon couldn't help but blushed at the smiling, handsome face of Naruto. Now, she understood why all the girls in her classes were crazy about him. Why, yeah, I wouldn't mind that, said Sinon. Then Naruto looked out of the window and saw that it was pretty dark outside already. I will take you home. It's pretty dark outside after all. Also, I wouldn't like to let a gentle girl such as you to walk home alone in such a dark sky, said Naruto, and stood up from the table. Sinon also stood up and followed him to his bike. When they reached the place, Naruto turned on the engine, then told Sinon to sit behind him and hold on him tight. With that, they began to take off to the direction of Shinon's apartment. Time skip. Sinon stepped out from the bike, then turned to Naruto and said, I am grateful for you for the speech that you gave me, Naruto-san. Also thank you for saving me. It's no problem, Asada-san. Sinon decided to interrupt him there. Sinon, please, call me Sinon. We are friends now, so you don't need to call me by my family name. It's too formal. Naruto blinked, then said slowly. Oh, okay then. Sinon-chan, it was nothing really. I am just glad that I've been able to help you out. It's pretty late already. See you later, Naruto-san, said Sinon, bowing down, then began to head to her apartment. If those bullies tried to bother you again, don't hesitate to call me, okay? Shouted Naruto before she managed to enter her apartment. Sinon just turned to Naruto and nodded her head. Then she entered her apartment. Naruto, seeing she came in, and decided to leave the place. He turned on the engine and take off to the direction of his house. Now, I need to log in Allo to tell the girls and Kirito about my leaving Sinon's house. Sinon slowly began to move to her bed. She recalled the conversation with Naruto and was about to reach the nightstand to take out the model of a gun there. But she stopped in the mid of the action. Then she lied on the bed and looked at the ceiling. To find a precious person, wonder if I could ever find such a person. Naruto is really strong, just talking with him I could feel that. His heart is unwavering. If I was him, I would never be able to move on from such experience. I want to be as strong as him. I will make Sinon stronger than him, then maybe I would be able to move on with my life. Sinon looked at the atmosphere and put it on her head. Link start. Aloe. Rainbow Forest. The girls and Kirito was waiting for Naruto to log in as he said, he has the important matter to tell them. After a while, Naruto's avatar appeared and he began to fly towards them. So what is the important business you want to tell us? Asked Kirito. Naruto took deep breath because he knew there is no way Lisbeth is goons like what he was about to say. I will leave this game for some time. There is some business in the other game. Kikuoka-san asked to help him with investigation, said Naruto. Is that why had such a scary face the day before Naruto? Asked Asuna suspiciously. No, Nei-chan, that was because the weather was bad and it got me in bad mood, lied Naruto. Will you leave forever? Asked Lisbeth worriedly. No, of course not. I just need to investigate some matter there. Nothing dangerous, lied Naruto again smiling cheerfully. That action pretty much managed to fool the girls but not Kirito. He knew Naruto too well in this matter, so he was sure that Naruto is hiding something. Be careful back there Naruto-kun. Then return to us ASAP okay? Said Leafa and hugged Naruto. Naruto hugged her back and smiled solemnly. So in what game will you convert to? Asked Asuna curiously. Gun Gale Online. GGO for short. I will enter the tournament called Bob, so I'd appreciate it if you guys will watch and cheer for me, said Naruto. Go ha. Naruto, can I talk to you in private? Asked Kirito looking at Naruto. Sure, said Naruto. Then they went to a tall tree not very far from the girls. Okay, Naruto. Tell me the truth. There must be a very serious matter to make you act like the day before, said Kirito. What are you talking about? Asked Naruto pretending to still not understand what Kirito means. Stop pretending to be naive. There must be a serious matter to make you back to revert to the Hitokiri Batasai persona, shouted Kirito. Naruto just sighed then looked up seriously. Okay, I should know from the start that I won't be able to hide anything from you. Do you know about the incident with the 3 skilled GGO players being looked by the other player within this game? Yeah, I've heard something like that. But what do you have to do with anything? On one of the corpse of the player was a hidden message. This is its context. 1 amph 81 nanograms 4 U, H. B. What do you think it is? How the heck should I know? But the part with the number decipher like. I am waiting for you. Who is the H. B. I can't deduce more. The answer will come to you eventually when you heard the third victim's avatar name. Maelstrom Batasai. Kirito widened his eyes at that. That's right, Kirito. The one that killed those 3 players was trying to force to GGO. You already deduced where he could be from to hold such a grudge against me, right? The survivor of Sal, muttered Kirito. That's not all. Do you remember the day the clearing party decided to wipe out Laughing Coffin? 10 members had managed to escape. Who do you think finished off those 10? Kirito remembered that day and his face began to pale as he recalled he has killed 3 members of the Red Guild. Then he turned wide eyes at Naruto's question. But that actually not true. I met them in accident. After the marriage with Lisbeth, I head to the 74th floor to get the ragu rabbit. When I decided to search in the dungeon, I met them. After that I killed 7 of members. I should kill all of them, but somehow the marriage with Lisbeth has made me soft. So I let them escape. The cost of my foolish action that day is the cost of 3 innocent players from GGO. And they were killed just so the message could be delivered to me. I must log in to finish what I start Kirito. I must redeem my sin. What Death Gun was waiting for is not Naruto but Hitokiri Batasai. That's why I will revive him once again to end my dark past once and for all. Then let me log in with you as well. If that guy can actually kill in game then with me there it will be easier to defeat him, proposed Kirito. No, I'll never believe in such a supernatural thing as that. There is definitely a trick to that. That's why I need you to be outside to help me in exposing his trick in killing people like that, said Naruto turning to Kirito. Okay, just be careful. Even if that guy is using a trick to kill people, don't let him shoot you, you don't know for sure that you will not die, warned Kirito seriously. I know that, said Naruto then watched as the girls began to approach them. In the morning, hospital. Naruto is currently walking through corridor looking at the paper in his hand to find a certain room. When he reached the room 7025 he stopped and slowly opened the door. Excuse me, said Naruto walking in. Whoa, it's Naruto Uzumaki Yuki himself in front of me. said the pretty nurse. She has chestnut brown hair like Asuna and a pretty busty figure. She has a pair of glasses on her eyes. Naruto just sweet drop at that. Anno. I am here to do investigation by the request of Kikuoka-san. My name is Aki Nitsuki. I will watch out your amazing body when you are in GGO, Naruto-kun, said Aki playfully with half-lit eyes. Naruto began to sweat even more at that. You know, I was put in charge when Kazuto-kun was in rehab. After that Four Eyes guy proposed me to help in doing investigation with you, I was like on the cloud from happiness. It's not every day that you can do as please with the body of the ideal man such as you, Naruto-kun, said Aki seductively and touching his rear. Aki-san, I would like to start the investigation right away, said Naruto sweet dropping nervously. Okay, then. It is already on the bed. Please, take off your clothes, Naruto-kun. Naruto gulped nervously and asked. Is that really necessary? I am going to connect electrodes. Why do you even feel embarrassed? You have a godly body just by looking at you, I know for sure. Then can I only be topless? Asked Naruto hopefully. You are so shy. But okay, looking at you topless is enough for me, said Aki pouted at first then licking her lips hungrily. Naruto felt nervous the wild time in the presence of such a pretty yet flirtatious nurse. He sighed knowing there is no escape now. He took off his black vest then the t-shirt underneath exposing his athletic figure to Aki. Aki just looked at his figure with a blush in her face. Naruto went to the bed and lied down. Aki began to connect the electrodes but sometimes felt up Naruto's body. Naruto put the atmosphere in his head and said. Well, then I will be going now. I will return in about 4 or 5 hours. Well, then I will take good care of your wonderful body, Naruto-kun, said Aki seductively and winking at him. Thanks. Just as Naruto prepared to log in, Aki moved to him and kissed him on the cheek in whispers. For luck. Naruto blushed a little then said. Link start. With that his conscience began to transfer to the world of GGO. He decided to name his avatar Shin, short for Shinigami. GGO. Naruto opened his eyes and began to look around. So this is what the world of guns look like. Naruto looked at his hand then began to clench and unclench his knuckle. Then he turned back to look at the glass behind to inspect his new avatar. His new avatar has black not very spiky hair. His eyes remain the same color. His appearance is that of black from To Love Ru. It seems the data from Menma gives me the black hair, muttered Naruto. Then he looked up at the dark sky and said. Just you wait, Death Gun. Your worst nightmare had arrived to annihilate you. Unknown place. A figure was seen sitting in the chair and reading all the comments about Death Gun. When he finished reading, he closed the site and opened one file. There was 3 photos in the file. One was the face of Zexi that was being marked by a cross. The second was Usugio Tarako. His photo was in the same condition. The third photo is the only photo that was not marked. It was photo of Sinon. The figure touched the photo of Sinon through the panel and said. You will be my next target, my dear. Then he will appear and I will have my revenge. The figure was hid by the shadow, but you can still see his wide smirk. GGO. Shin, from now on Naruto will be called Shin when in GGO, looked around him and thought. It's pretty different from Aloe. For now I need to get the attention of that Death Gun. But first need to find a suitable weapon then register to Bob. Shin decided to move forward and find the Governor General office first. Suddenly, one strange-looking player that looks old appeared in front of him and said in awe. Hey, Ni-chan. That avatar. Is that the MX9999 type? The most coolest and rarest avatar that you can get in GGO. Even though there are not many female players in GGO, still with this avatar you will definitely attract them. Thanks for explaining that to me, I guess, said Shin sweet dropping nervously. I want to buy your account. How many do you want? I will buy at any price. Plead the player. This avatar is actually being convert. So I am sorry, but I can't sell it to you, said Shin. Is that so? Well, it's a shame then, said the player sadly. Well, I'll be going now, said Shin and leave the player behind. If you rethink then come to me, shouted the player. As Shin walked down the street there were some female players that whistled loudly at his look. The male players looked on his avatar with envy. Shin just sighed at all these, as it was too troublesome. Even in GGO, I am still attract the female population. Guess it's destiny. He was searching for a while now and still couldn't find the path. Guess I'll have to ask someone or it will get me nowhere, thought Shin with a sigh. Suddenly, he looked up and saw an aqua-haired girl not far from him. He decided to calm her out. Hey, you. Sinon turned her head and saw a handsome black-haired boy was calling out to her. She pointed at herself. When the boy nodded his head, she began to approach him. What do you want? Asked Sinon annoyed. Shin blinked at the attitude then shrugged his shoulder. I am a newbie in this game. Could you help me to find a gun shop and the Governor General office? Asked Shin scratching the back of his head. Sinon just looked at Shin's beginner outfit and said coolly. I can see that by looking at your outfit. Why should I even help you? Shin just blinked again and decided to ask. Why do you so hostile to me? I haven't even do anything to you. Or maybe you are not comfortable with a male. Sinon just looked at him then sigh. Okay, I'll help you to find the gun shop, then I will be on my way. Thanks you so much, said Shin happily and bowed down. Time skip. Shin and Sinon stood at the elevator and wait for it to move up. By the way, why do you want to do in Governor General office? Asked Sinon curiously. Well, I want to enter the tournament called Bullet of Bullets, answered Shin. Bob, you are only newbie and want to participate? Asked Sinon surprised. This avatar is a concert from the other game. Its stats is enough to enter Bob, answered Shin. Ho, is that so? Then you will be my enemy, as I will also enter Bob, said Sinon smirking. Then I am looking forward to face you, said Shin with a smirk as well. We are nearly there, said Sinon looking ahead of her. Market. Sinon brought Shin to a market. Shin looked at all the guns on the panel and found nothing suitable for him. Sinon turned back and said, well, I've brought you to the market, as promised now you are on your own. As she was about to leave, Shin hurriedly took her hand stopped her from leaving. Wait, please, I need to know the direction to the Governor General office as well, so please help me to the end then we will go to register together, plead Shin. Sinon is hesitating, for some reason she didn't feel uncomfortable with this guy. The only males that made her feel at ease are Kuji and Naruto. She sighed then turned to Shin and said, okay, we will go together. So did you find anything suitable? Shin looked around and shook his head. No. Are there more weapons? Or only guns? Ha. We are playing GGO. Of course guns is the main weapon, what did you expect? Asked Sinon raising her eyebrow. Well, there is nothing that suit me here, said Shin frustrated. Sinon just sighed at Shin's inexperience and began to lecture him. Listen, here. In GGO, there are two types of weapons. Energy and physical weapons. Energy weapons are light and accurate, but its shooting speed is slower than the physical ones. That's why it's only used when fighting monsters. If you are entering Bob, then it's better to use physical ones. Also there are rare weapons that has the Roman numeral engraved on it. Those guns has the ability to shoot a railgun, the shoot of course is limited. Oh, thanks you for explaining to me, said Shin in awe. So what are your stats? Asked Sinon. Mostly speed then strength, said Shin putting his finger on his chin. So the strength agility type huh? Well then maybe a heavy assault rifle. Or the large caliber machine gun as main weapon and a handgun as the sub-weapon, advised Sinon. Shin paled at carrying such a weapon. He shook his head then remembered something. You said something about the rare guns that has the Rome numbers on it right? Asked Shin. Yeah. Do you know where I could obtain one of them? Well, you could go to the dungeon and kill a boss or there is an automate, that drop it though the dropping rate is extremely low, said Sinon. Well, then I would like to try my luck, said Shin smirking. There are millions of people and no one has ever managed to obtain one. What makes you think you can do it? Also you need more cash with the starter sum you won't be able to buy anything, said Sinon. Yeah, you are right. Then do you know where I could get more cash very quick? Asked Shin looking at Sinon hopefully. Well, there are casinos and gambling games. Then there is one place called Untouchable. See that? Said Sinon and pointing behind Shin. There was a mechanical gunman standing at the back, above him is the amount of money that you can win. Well, I will go to the casino later, but that gamble game looks fun. I'd like to try it out, said Shin with excitement. You won't try. It's impossible to win. Once past the 8-meter line, he starts doing these cheap speed draws. By try time you see the prediction line it will be already too late. Prediction lines? Asked Shin curiously. Watch. Someone is about to add to the pool, whispers Sinon to Shin. The player that looks like a regular American soldier pressed the start button. The gunman at the back declared, "I am gonna blast you from here to the moon." The crowd began to gather to watch someone to fail again. Sinon and Shin watched the scene as well. "I am gonna clear this today," declared the player. When the timer had ended, he immediately began to rush forward, then stopped suddenly and made a ridiculous pose. "What the heck is he doing?" asked Shin with a sweet drop. Back to the scene, the gunman began to shoot, but because of the prediction lines, it all missed. "So that is the prediction line," muttered Shin with interested. "Yes, it's the bullet line that helped the player to see where the bullet will be shoot, only the first of the sniper don't show the prediction line." The player managed to dodge until he reached the 8 line. The gunman began to recharge his weapon quickly and shoot at impressive speed. The player couldn't keep up with the speed and was shot down. Just that he lose his bet money. The sum had reached to 30,200. You can't move far to the left and right, so you are limited in the center. "Do you still want to challenge that gunman?" asked Sinon looking at Shin. "I get it. When you notice the prediction lines is already too late. But what if I could where the bullet will shot next, before the prediction line appears?" "Yes, I can do it," muttered Shin and began to walk to the untouchable. "Hey, didn't I told that is impossible," said Sinon. Shin pressed the started button and looked at the gunman intently. "Oi, look at newbie is gonna try," said the player that has failed before. "Well, he'll failed anyway, but let's look at this humiliation." From behind the crowd, there was one dark-skinned girl watching Shin with interested. When the timer has ended, Shin began to rush at ridiculous speed. The gunman began to shoot at him. The prediction lines appeared on Shin's body, but he didn't notice it as he concentrated on watching the bullets. To him the bullets was flying to him in slow motion. Shin dodged the bullets with ease and began to smirk confidently. Then he began speed up even more and doing the zigzag movement. The gunman was firing at ridiculous speed to the other players, but Shin could see clearly where the bullet will head next. Only 5 meters was left. Shin decided to jump up high and began to propel downwards to the gunman with great speed. The gunman tried his hardest to shoot Shin down, but Shin saw through all his movement and dodged in mid-air with ease. Then Shin landed next to the shocked gunman and said, "Game over." With that all the money began to pour from the house behind. All the while, the crowd was so shocked, they were speechless at what they just witnessed. Sinon also looking at Shin with wide eyes. The dark-skinned girl also looked surprised, then she smirked. "A newbie and possesses such skills. You have interested me greatly." Sinon decided to break the silence. How did you do that?" Shin just turned to her and winked, then said, "A magician never reveals his tricks. Who the heck is that guy? Nobody has managed to even pass the 8 line, yet he passes with such ease." Sinon still looked at Shin at shock. The dark-skinned girl decided that she had seen enough and turned to leave. Shin approached Sinon and said, "Well, let's go. I've have enough cash for now." Sinon just nodded her head, still very shocked, and followed him. Shin looking around the market until he saw something that caught his attention. Sinon turned to the direction that he was looking at and said, "Ah, those are the photon swords. They are used to deflect the bullets, though nobody use it as a main weapon." "Why is that?" asked Shin curiously. "Because this is a shooting game. By the time you get close, you will be blown apart," explained Sinon. "Huh, but I think this sword will actually suit my style," said Shin and pressed on the buy button. He chose the blue color and waited for the robot to appear to deliver his sword. The robot appeared, he delivered the sword to Shin and said, "Thank you for purchasing the product." Then it left them. Shin activated the sword and smirking widely, then he tried out some moves. Sinon looking at him with a sword and actually think he looked cool. "Well, you have the photon sword now. What else do you want to purchase? Remember, you still need to keep the money for the bulletproof vest and battle outfit," reminds Sinon. "Let's go for the automate where the rare guns are," said Shin. "You sure? I told you already the drop rate is very low. Maybe you should find the other gun," asked Sinon to make sure of Shin's decision. "I want to try my luck," said Shin with a smirk. "You are such a stubborn idiot," said Sinon with a sigh and rubbing her temples. At the gun automate, there were many people gathered there, each want to win the rare gun with the Roman numeral on it. The guns with numeral were limited by 13 only. Some had spent all his money on the automate and punched it in frustration. After a while, Shin's turn has come. He put a certain amount of money, then pressed the start button. The automate began to roll, then something dropped from it. Shin picked it up and inspected the item. The people around and even Sinon looked in shock. Just one roll and he managed to get the Hades revolver 13. The revolver has made by the orichalcum so it can deflect the bullets with no problem. Not only that, it has the function to shoot railgun. The murmur began. Look, the newbie had managed to get a hold on the Hades revolver. Does this guy has the luck of devil? And he only rolled one time while I spend all my money on the automate. Shin ignored the murmur and held Hades in his hand and muttered. Such a strange feeling. It's like I've used this gun my whole life. Sinon snapped out from her shock and decided to approach Shin. First, the untouchable, then this. How do you do it? Asked Sinon with incredulous look. I am just that special, said Shin with a smirk. Sinon began to feel irritated his arrogance. Well, now let's go to buy you a defensive field, to use against blasters and the armor, said Sinon. Armor? I won't need that. It will hinder my movements, said Shin waving his hand in dismiss. Sinon just blinked at that and sighed again. She felt so tired hang with this guy. You just give me the headache. Do you want to try that gun? Shin nodded his head eagerly. Then follow me. Practicing place. Sinon and Shin walked to a certain place to try out the Hades. Do you know how to fire? Asked Sinon. A little, said Shin and raised the Hades to aim at the target in front of him. If you are shooting for the first, it's better that you hold the gun with both hands. When you aim at the target, there should be a circle display. That is the offensive assist system, bullet circle. The more the circle, the more is your missing rate. Just stay calm, and when the circle is smaller, then shoot, explained Sinon. Thanks. Shin did as he was told and shoot at the target. After the shot, Sinon pressed a button to make the target move closer to them so they could see the result. There was a hole in the far right of the target. Not bad for a beginner, said Sinon. Well, it's all thanks to you for explaining to me. You are such a good teacher, said Shin and grinned foxily. Sinon turned her head away from him in embarrassment. It was nothing. By the way, what time is it? We need to register to Bob. Did you forget? Remind Sinon. Oh, yeah, it's 14:50 now, said Shin looking at the watch in menu. Crap, we only have 10 minutes left, shouted Sinon in panic. 10 minutes. It's enough to get there, said Shin and picked Sinon bridle style and began to run with ridiculous speed. Sinon suddenly was in his arms, blushed and shouted at him. What the heck do you think you are doing? Put me down this instant. With my speed we will reach the field with bikes and head to the Governor General office faster. So just enjoy the ride, said Shin running and looking at Sinon's face with a wink. When they reached the bike field, Shin put Sinon on the sit behind and said. Hold on to me tight, okay? I am gonna go with max speed. We will be there in no time. With that he activated the bike and propelled forward like a rocket towards the destination. Sinon was holding tight at Shin's waist, she was not used to this kind of speed. Then she began to get used to it and began to laugh heartily. Wow, this feels great. Such incredible feeling. I know you are very cute when you laugh like that, said Shin with a soft smile in his face. Sinon just blushed and turned her head away from him. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.